The very first time you finally got shot up on a rocket and you went in space and you unbuckled your safety harnesses, what is that moment like?
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked this
question. Do you remember that?
Oh my, I remember vividly.
Tell me about it.
First mission, first launch, the rocket lights, that's an amazing experience. But I had it in my head, okay, new guy, don't screw this up. And I knew engines off, gloves off, helmet off, seatbelt, camera, window. And I did I rehearsed it. I did exactly that. And so I kind of didn't pay attention so much to the, oh my God, I'm floating part, because I was so focused on getting these camera pictures.
You had a job to do.
I had a job to do, and the initial pictures are this really long telephoto lens. So it's like looking through a drink straw, and all I saw was orange foam, and I'm mowing the lawn of my picture, and then the procedure says, at some point, change the camera lens to a wider view. And so I dropped the camera down, and that's when I saw Earth. And we were over the Straits of Gibraltar, kind of over Spain, and I'm looking out the window. I see the Straits of Gibraltar, the Boot of Italy. I see, forthcoming into the rest of Europe, and way off in the distance, the hint of the Middle East, kind of. And I look at my watch, and we're 30 minutes into the mission. And I remember thinking, wow, it takes usually a lot longer than 30 minutes to fly from Orlando to Madrid.
That's a 10-hour flight.
It's a 10-hour flight, and here I did it in 30 minutes, and I'm seeing the world go by.
What is that like when you've unbuckled and you're floating?
I equate it to like a brand new baby horse or something. As soon as that horse comes out, it's all gangly and doesn't know how to maneuver in this new environment. That's what a first-time space flyer is in zero gravity. You don't really know how to maneuver. You don't know how hard to push off. You don't know, how do I fix myself in one spot so I can actually do my job here? And your brain almost has to relearn. And our brains are amazing things, and you get it pretty quickly. And your feet become kind of your hands, like your feet hook onto things and kind of stabilize yourself. In fact, if you ever see footage of a person first time entering into the space station, there's stuff falling off the walls behind them, this trail of debris, because they don't realize what their feet are doing as they're floating through space. So you got to get this awareness about you that your whole body is floating, not just your eyeballs and your hands where it's easy to focus on.
Right.
And then it really takes tiny effort to move yourself. A little tiny push, and that's all you need. That's another mistake that people often do when you first get there, is push off too hard. However hard you push off, that's how hard you're going to hit the wall on the other side.
Right. Because the reality is, in space, just take a push off a wall, for instance. If you push off the wall, until there is something to stop you,
keep going.
You will not stop. You'll stay at the same speed, right?
Exactly.
Same rate.
Yep. One of the fun games we do on a Saturday or Sunday in the space station, which is a long linear tube, is push off from one end and see how far you can go without bumping into anything. And it's surprisingly difficult to get a perfect, no kind of other direction push, so you're straight down the middle, like a perfect strike in the middle of the strike zone. Really, I think in a year of my life up there, I've probably only done that one time, where I've gone from one end of the US laboratory to the other and made it through the hatch without hitting anything.
Is there a sensation that you feel that you can equate to all of us when you are floating? Does it feel weird? Is it odd?
No, there's like all the bodily stuff is the same. If when you're tired, you're tired. When you're hungry, you're hungry. When you got to use the restroom, number 1 or number 2, it all feels the same.
Okay.
When you're floating, your body feels the same. It's just you're always kind of in motion, and so that's where your feet come into play. You're kind of fixing yourself to stay put. Like taking a sip of water, it doesn't go down your neck any different. Taking a bite of food, it all goes down into your stomach.
So once you eat or drink something like that, the minute you take it in,
totally normal.
The body takes care of the rest normal.
Your body's like, okay, we got it from here.
For someone like you who had 2 tours on the International Space Station, you have this great depth of knowledge of what it's like. But these are women who are going to experience some of what you did, not to the length. How special is that for just anybody today in today's world to be able to go float free in space for a couple of minutes?
It's almost not so much the floating, it's the view of our planet that you have from that altitude. You're seeing, and floating is kind of icing on the cake, but to me, the really truly move the needle of your inner soul comes from looking out that window and watching the planet go by at 5 miles a second. You see blues of the ocean and all different shades of it, particularly in the Caribbean. You see green and plush forest and brown and then desert. You see mountain tops with snow. You see clouds, and you see off on the horizon this skinny, skinny blue line, which is Earth's atmosphere. Yeah. All of that is just like, holy moly. I would never go to bed without looking out the window. I usually brush my teeth before bed and just sit there looking out the window and thinking, man, this world would be a better place if everybody had 5 minutes in this window right now.
Speak to the representation, I guess, of women just in space travel in general. It was once a man's game, right? Decades ago, but things have changed mightily.
What's really super cool is the inspiration that a mission like this can give young girls around the world. That, I think, is the most special thing about a cool mission like this with a crew complement. Because at the end of the day, space travel is about who we are as a humankind. Where do we see ourselves in the future? Will people be living on another planet sometime in the future? In the future, those people will be the ones that are in elementary school right now. How do you inspire those young girls, guys, big city folks, small town people to be what they can be? It's through unique missions like this one.